Gotta do the hair, guys. It's gonna get howdy, howdy, howdy. Teresa here with
Bradley.
and the critters. Hot breathing Charlie.
Jellybean has an eye lock on me.
Jellybean. Anyway, it is, I think it's February 5th. Yes, 2022, Saturday afternoon at 1:31 p.m. I have to tell you guys a miracle did happen last night. Did. I actually got a really good night's sleep. An excellent night's sleep. Now, I was super tired yesterday, as is, because Brandon had not been sleeping well. And he did take a nap. And I should have, but I didn't. I was busy doing my wreath and stuff, and then I ended up falling asleep while he was watching TV. Um, and but then I got up and he came back and we were talking and stuff. And sometimes it's just a little easier for me to fall asleep if he's back there, and I don't know why, but it is. So I crawled into bed and got all situated. I got to do my nesting, and because I got to have stuff just a certain way. And then I fell asleep and I woke up this morning at 10 a.m., 10:30, I think, and I was in the same position I fell asleep in. And that never happens. I never sleep more than 2 hours at a whack. And I slept a good, at least 7 hours.
Yeah.
So it's a miracle.
Mhm.
I feel much better today. So hopefully that will continue because that was very nice. And then I woke up how I always do with Jellybean coming up on my chest, and then she'll stretch her little body so her little tummy is right across my chest, and it's just such a comforting thing. Every time she does it, I'm like, oh, she's stretching and she's just happy to see me and needs her morning cuddles, right, Jellybean? Of course, Charlie is right next to us and stuff, so, right? I
And
know.
Charlie needs his evening cuddles too.
Oh, yes, Charlie needs his cuddles. Right? He just got done doing the whole butt scratching thing, right, Charlie? Charlie, right? Right? Now you're gonna be quiet. So anyway, it's a beautiful day out. I don't know what the degree is, but the sun's out.
I'll check into it.
I don't think it's terribly warm, but it's not super cold. It's not like Texas. They're very cold.
Yeah.
Those people are not ready or not prepared. Their houses and stuff aren't built for such.
It is 42 degrees.
Yeah.
And says rain likely Monday morning.
Yep.
So here, 81% chance of precipitation on Monday.
What about tomorrow?
1%.
Okay.
But all 3 days, today, Saturday, or today, Sunday, and Monday, a high of 46 degrees.
That's nice. That's very nice. We'll take that. So, I got a wreath done last night, and this one I made for somebody very special. And when Brad gets his next pay period in, I will be mailing out some of these that I am doing. And I'm not going to say who this is for, but it still needs some hot glue on it. I cannot find my hot glue gun anywhere, and I tried the E6000, which is a wonderful glue, but I don't think it's really made for porous uh, areas. But this is, see the ribbons and stuff. This is, and you'll see up here close, those are little organza angels with crystals on them. Then you just have some nice spring type flowers, carnation type. And then you guys saw how I started this wreath. And like I said, then you just tie the ribbon. Here's the back side of all that. So it's easy to hang on a wall if you wanted it. I wouldn't put this necessarily outside. You could put it in between your doors, but you could put it depends on how much weather and stuff you think your um, wreath is going to get. I wouldn't put this outdoor. Now I've still got to go in and glue more on these embellishments, but that's the general gist of it. I'll move it over here so you can take that now.
Okay.
Because we just discovered that Charlie will go and he will zoom through eating everything out of the dog food bowl, and then he'll keep barking at us, and we don't know why. I have another hat, of course, in the loom, as we say. So I would loom a bit on this while I talk to you guys. And then I got some housework to do. Saturdays, if we haven't done it on Friday, we like to get the house all cleaned up, so we don't have to worry about it for a few days. Because Sunday we do like to take off. One of us is making goulash tonight, and then I do want to make that fish tomorrow night.
Okay.
I want to cook that fish tomorrow night.
Okay.
I was planning on doing some cooking tomorrow. I think I might make some pumpkin bread.
That would be cool.
Yeah, but I'm going to make sure I put the right kind of blend in this time. Last time I used what I thought was blend, and it was just all pure artificial sweetener. You cannot cook that way. You cannot bake that way because most of the time it's got to be a sugar blend. It just doesn't come out right. This came out like bricks.
Yeah.
And Brad loves my breads, my sweet breads.
Yes.
And but this, for him to throw away any of my baking is just. But you live and learn. You live and learn how much artificial sweetener you can do as opposed to how much real sugar you still have to have in there. Now I know some people that are diabetic do cook with sugar in the raw, but I don't know enough about that to actually. And I guess I probably need to read up on that because I know quite a few people that them or their spouse will be diabetics if that's what they use. So I'll have to look that up. We had pancakes for dinner last night, which I know a diabetic's not the great thing, but we normally don't do that. And our blood sugars were still fine this morning. So go ahead, honey. Go feed the puppy. What are you doing? You're gonna look up that sugar, ain't you?
I forgot to put the blood sugar in my phone.
Okay. But yeah. So we're just kind of sitting and talking and getting ready to do some different housework. Brad got in his ottoman last night, and he loves it. We're glad we got one that was a bigger spacing because that was perfect for him. We're getting things ready for hopefully when he has surgery. It's going to happen. We're just not sure when. We're trying to be okay with that, even though we are so disappointed. We do. We feel so disappointed that that might not happen. I mean, but it's not like it's only happening to us. It's happening to millions of Americans everywhere and people all over the world. They're not able to have surgeries and stuff. So but it still does stink for everybody. Yeah. It really does.
I'm just looking to be able to walk normally.
You ever did?
No.
No.
Me being normal is a little stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what have you done with my husband? Because to be normal is very boring.
It is.
When they say, "Oh, you're normal," and you're like, "Why do you say that to me? Why?" But yeah, it's a nice day out. I gotta go clean my room and do the cat litter box in the bathroom and stuff back there. I do that once a week. I try to make more room in there. Actually, too, because I want to moving all of my makeup into the bathroom because I always did my hair and makeup in my bedroom growing up. Because if you ever have a house where there's just one bathroom, that's what you do. That's one alternative is just do your hair and makeup in your room. And so even when we had two bathrooms, I just always did my hair and makeup in my room. I taught our girls that too, because you can't be taking up the bathroom for hours on end. It feels like so. But now that we have multiple bathrooms, and I don't wear makeup very often, but I would like to wear it a little bit more often than I do. But I'm going to move all that into the bathroom, and that way, I told you guys before, it'll give me more space to be painting and creating. So I'm trying to clean off more space. But Brad out here needs to, he's going to move some stuff around and make it where it's more conducive to him being able to use this ottoman whenever he wants, and it won't be in the way. And it's nice. It's very nice looking,
Mm-hmm.
you
It
know,
really is.
and it's got all that storage in it because the whole lid comes off. So
And it's collapsible.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was only like $40, but it's a cheaper alternative than replacing an entire recliner because the footrest is kind of wonky anyway. Kind of go down on one side, but those pull-up handles have both broken off on both chairs. Now I don't use my footrest. I guess I just got used to being afraid there might be a dog or a cat underneath there, and but Brad does use his, and you know he needs to. It helps with the pain and stuff a lot. So you know that's what you do on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's just a lot cheaper alternative.
Yeah.
Before Brad was gonna have surgery and stuff, we were pretty dead set on getting him a lift chair. But now we're kind of waiting because he might not need one. So we'll wait and see.
Well, and I noticed too is I was trying to stand flat-footed with both posture, and it's when I stand like that when I really notice the
Height
height
difference.
difference
Yeah.
on from my right leg to my left leg.
You wouldn't think an inch would be, but it really is.
Yeah.
You know.
And I really think that's is putting a lot of strain on my knees.
Well, I mean, when you don't have that ball there anymore, I mean, I call him Spike now because of it. Because the surgeon says he has a spike instead of a ball. So I try to accommodate on that, right?
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's what we're doing. Get stuff all nicely done in here, and we'll have some goulash or spaghetti, either one. You know, I'm down for either.
Oh, we got to cook that asparagus too.
Oh, we do.
Yep.
How was it looking?
I didn't look at it that closely.
Will you look?
It's still in the
But you'll look.
I will.
Okay. I mean, we can always go ahead and cook it, even if we just eat it as a snack.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I eat cooked vegetables a lot more now as a snack. It's a great snack, especially if you're. Well, it's a great snack for anybody, but if you're diabetic,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great snack.
Yep.
You know, cook you up some green beans or spinach, broccoli, any of that. Especially like more fibrous vegetables. They really, it's like an apple stays in your stomach and stuff a lot longer than a banana. So anything more fibrous like your cauliflower, your broccoli, your leafy greens and stuff, which are so good for you anyway. Um, it really fills you up, and that's what I love. Is it fills me up, and then I'm not hungry. It's good for me. I'm not carving out. We all have those things that we could just carve out on, like crackers or chips or you know candy or whatever. So to me, it's a good thing. I didn't even have to take. We usually have set aside a second dose of our over-the-counter pain reliever if we can't sleep. Neither one of us even took that, so that was wonderful.
Yeah.
I didn't wake up near as tired feeling either, and yeah, was happy. Like I said, just naturally woke up at 10, and you know, everything else to say.
Not that I can think of.
I hope if you're in the path of this storm that you're staying safe and warm and dry, and you know, I really feel for you guys. Especially those of you that are not really used to that kind of weather. It's a hard lesson to try all of a sudden to learn how to drive on the ice. Or all of a sudden you don't really have coats and stuff. I know I saw some weather reports where some people were kind of excited because maybe they had bought this jacket, they never really got to wear it because it was too warm, or boots or whatever, and they're like, now I get to wear my cute sweater, and it's like,
Well, and we were watching some of those. There was a couple of videos of people who were driving through these winter storms. What
mm-hmm.
the road conditions were like, and I had made a comment to you about I couldn't believe that this guy didn't pull over when the ambulance was coming by. And one of the things that I forget is that people that are a lot less experienced at driving in the snow, um, you had made a comment that they probably couldn't pull off the road.
Well, they couldn't because there was enough snow that had been plowed that if they did that, they weren't getting out.
Yeah, and I sometimes I think too much like Jeep because I think, well, so little snow, I could plow through
Right.
and I could plow through it, and I have plowed through stuff like that.
Well, it doesn't matter though if you had a Jeep, if you've never had weather like that, you don't really know.
Yeah, what it can do.
Yeah, and you don't know about the other drivers around you, and you get kind of frozen in place where I have before and I grew up in Wyoming, but where you are in the midst of a super bad storm and you can't pull over. There's no way to pull over. There's no way to just stop, and you feel just frozen. That's when I'll have a panic attack. And what my panic attack, I want to just let go of the wheel and just not even do this. Or I want to pull over to the side of the road and just stay there until like the weather would change. And I know I can't, but so I have to get myself together real fast. But you feel like you're. How many times have you white knuckled it? The
Oh
phrase
yeah.
white knuckling it when you're gripping that steering wheel so hard that.
Well, and now about pretty much the only time I white knuckle it, and actually it's been this way for a lot of years, is when I'm driving in a real heavy rainstorm.
Yeah, but I've never been. You're getting more used to it though.
Yeah.
I still try to avoid having to drive in a real heavy rainstorm. Or also I don't drive at night if I can help it because I just neither one of us see that well at night anymore. You guys know how that is, and so yeah, I can't remember the last time we did drive at night.
I don't.
Maybe the last time you took me to the ER and I wasn't able. We waited 4 or 5 hours and then
Yeah.
yeah. So that's about it. But
Yeah.
I do feel for you guys that, you know, basically, I know that they were showing that some of the grocery stores there was nothing there at all. I mean, because some people don't just keep their house stocked up like I do, and well, even then I don't keep frozen milk or anything. You know, we used to a long time ago, but I don't like that because, okay, you get the frozen milk out and it always is maybe frozen there kind of funky, so it doesn't want to sit plush. It wants to sit at an angle, and I don't know. Then waiting for that fine line between when it's thawed out, you can put it in the fridge, but you don't want to let it thaw out too much where it could spoil. But yeah, I mean, you got powdered milk for cooking and stuff, so you could do that. You could get some of the canned milk or whatever if you had to.
Well, and I remember a few times bringing home from work, we'd get close dated on some of these gallons of milk.
Mhm.
And I remember I'd bring home, 6 or
Mhm.
8 gallons, and
Mhm.
we'd put one in the fridge
Yep.
and then throw the other 6 or 7 into the
Yep.
freezer.
Yeah. Well, my mom used to work at a a dairy, and she just did the bookkeeping, that kind of stuff. So, but sometimes they would have a bunch of milk that was close dated or they would have like if a truck had an accident and couldn't then deliver its product, say it had an accident 20 miles out of town. Well, then they've got all this milk. So then, yeah, mom would
Yep.
start bringing home milk
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. Before that, I didn't know about freezing milk. We always had milk delivered as a kid. Um, you did too, you
Yeah.
said? Yeah. We always, and so you had that metal box right outside of your house. And, yep, in the morning you go and get your milk out. You know, sometimes you get a surprise that maybe chocolate milk had been ordered too, or cottage cheese, or, a big thing of cheese. So, you know. Yeah, like that. Stick little notes in the and Mom used to have write out a note, have us stick it in the milk box, but she wanted maybe cottage cheese or butter or something like that too. So you know,
Hey, the grocery stores now are thinking they're doing something innovative by the home delivery.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. It
with
used to be you always had your milk delivered.
yep,
That's all we ever had delivered,
yeah,
but I think that's all there was back
yeah.
then.
Well, Mom used to buy from Jewel Tea.
Yeah, did they come to your house?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah, because Bill, I don't remember what Bill's last name was,
uh-huh.
but I know Bill. I knew him. I mean, he'd been delivering the Jewel Tea stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
it was after that I got to know him in the store,
Oh, yeah.
and yeah, but yeah, there's not a whole lot of home delivery like that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there's swans. Some people really like that. Like, Kathy really likes some of their stuff.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. We never did swans because Brad worked for a grocery store. So, in that kind of arena, it's kind of like a big no-no
Yeah,
that you just don't really want to be.
yeah,
You kind of always believe that you should reinvest your money. Basically, they were union back into the store. So we used to do all of our shopping primarily
hmm
there, you know. And then finally, toward the end, they gave you a little employee discount. That was kind of nice. Or you
yeah,
might get some special coupons in with your paycheck. That was always,
hmm
and it would be handy. It would be maybe for milk and eggs and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, those were the days where you always drink out of the water hose too.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you did. You drank out of that water hose, and because we lived in a place where there's snowpack, that water's always nice and cold.
yep.
In fact, you didn't just run through the sprinkler unless you were real brave, because that thing can be cold.
Yes.
That thing can be very cold. Your biggest thrill would be if that garden hose had laid out on in the yard or on the sidewalk, because then initially when you turned it on, that water was warm.
Yeah.
But if you filled up like a little kid swimming pool or anything, you always have to wait till it warms up, which means you got to wait a day or two.
hmm
When you never do that in the morning, you never get in there because you're going to freeze your tatas off. Well, you didn't have tatas at that point in time, but you would think you did. So, you know.
Well, that's what always amazed me when we first moved from Wyoming when we were living down in Florida. Because I was used to you turn on the water, you let it run for a few seconds,
Yeah.
and it'll start coming out really cold. But
Wait, wait, wait.
yeah, down in Florida, it did not get cold.
Yeah, I mean, heck, you could take a shower with just, you know, with the cold water,
Yeah,
because it was not cold.
yeah,
I missed that so much too, because I used to get a cold glass of water, and it was
yeah.
like, I no wonder there's so much ice sold everywhere down there.
Mhm.
Here it's not as bad. You will get some cold water. It's not well. It is cold now,
Yeah, it
but
is a
it's
lot.
never as warm as Florida.
Yeah,
The water.
and I do notice a difference in during the summer.
I
That
don't know if you guys remember when some of you guys that were with us when we lived in Florida, but whoa, when we lived down in Panacea and we lived in that RV park and stuff, you want to talk about some funky tasting
oh yeah,
water. Lord, it tasted a little bit like shrimp. It did. It smelled like it too. It depended on the time of the year and stuff. But Lord Almighty, that's when we started getting we got a pitcher, water filter with a pitcher, and that was the best way for us to go. And
hmm
we filtered all that water because
oh yeah,
Lord Almighty, you could not drink it. Brad was saying that the water, he thought the water here tastes kind of weird. I haven't noticed that, but it's got a little bit of a different taste
yeah,
to
it
it.
does.
But nothing as bad as
No,
Florida. See, we don't buy bottled water. We just don't. I just find it as, unless I would have to have it, it's just kind of a big waste of money for me. And man, you accumulate a lot of garbage
yeah,
with all those bottles. I
yeah.
mean, and that's just me. I know a lot of people that buy bottled water, and whatever works. But I told you that we could, if you I don't know if you found the picture or not. I know we found the filters.
Yeah.
And if he wanted to, he could filter some water. You know,
Yeah.
he just put some packets of whatever flavoring in it, math good enough. But
Yeah.
yeah, I said we lived down there in Pansy, and now that water just
Oh,
it got to
yeah.
a point where I didn't. You could taste it in the coffee. You could just taste it everywhere, and I love the smell of the sea air and stuff. I didn't want to taste it.
Huh.
You know,
Very
did
true.
not want to taste it. So yeah, I have to be working on hats. It's an addiction, right?
Yeah.
Just
Look, you're lucky that I just completely forgot what I was going to say. Sorry.
okay. I hate it when it
Oh
happens.
man, yeah,
You
just
had one train of thought, and then you're like, ah!
yep,
I knew I was going to say something, and now I just.
yep.
So this is the pattern that I'm doing right now. It's just the stripe thing. Yeah. So I just wanted you guys to know that. Now you can carry on with your day because I know what pattern Teresa's doing. It's the stripe, right?
How
Where
many
part of it is two over, and then the other color is one over. So
how many TikTok subscribers do you have now?
almost. I might have 73 now. I was real close. Let me see. It's very important, you know. Okay, let me see. I gotta. Let's see. Going over to the ticker talker. Like I said, my name is all it's down below, but it's all just one. It's one run together. Just Teresa Heidi. Teresa with an H. Heidi with an E at the end, not an I. Let's see. How many do I have right now? I have 73. I have 7,342 now.
Ooh,
Yeah, so I picked up some more. So that's exciting. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun ain't hurting anything. Like I said, I'm not much of a social person. This is as social as I get. And the TikTok. I mean, once in a while, um, I used to have a few friends I would hang out with and stuff. But since I've always been a housewife, and most back then most women worked, um, and I'm a loner. I'm a loner as a kid. I'm a loner as a teenager. I'm a loner as an adult. I didn't hang out with people in high school. I didn't. I worked and I went roller skating. That was as social as I got. And, I usually had a boyfriend until they would, either make me mad or they would be so boring that time for them to go goodbye. And, they would if you got real. I wasn't looking for you to be real entertaining, but if you were really okay, number one thing is if you wanted too much of my time, then you had to go goodbye because I wasn't the type that wanted a boyfriend that needed to be with me 24/7.
yeah.
And I wasn't gonna put out. And if you got super boring too, where I couldn't really have a conversation with you, then you have to go goodbye. You know. But it's basically it's true though. If you got too pushy about wanting too much of my time, which is usually what happens. You get this little boy who thinks that he needs to be with you all the time, and it's like goodbye. I still will send him off, huh? We're married 33 years, and I'll say goodbye. And it's not that I don't love him or anything, but I just need to be in my own little zone for a bit. And I try not to be rude about it. Sometimes I'm rude about it, though.
Not
I
really.
don't mean to be.
Yeah, not really.
It's just you're trying to tell that person not hurt their feelings, and you know that you just need some time alone. Give me an hour or two alone, and I'm gonna be so happy, and then you and I are gonna rock it. Then I'm
Yeah,
gonna want to be all lovey dovey and all that stuff. but I don't want to be all handy, lovey-dovey all the time. I kind of like schedules. I do. I like schedules, and I like to know what's coming up. It's like, what movie's coming up for stuff. I'm not very much for spontaneity. Sometimes I can be, but spontaneous. But
Yeah.
that pretty much has to be something that I thought of and think we should be spontaneous about.
But you've always been the type for planning.
Hmm.
Because I remember that like when we first got together, that you would do a budget for 10 years. You know.
Yeah, and I mean I don't need to do that. That's
Mhm.
kind of silly to do. But it just was a way for me to cope, I think, because we had such tight finances and stuff that I don't even know how we made it. Because man,
What do I
but
keep?
we did.
Yeah. What do I keep telling you though? You're the master of squeezing out everything out of
I'm not near as
every
frugal
penny.
as I used to be because, like, I used to rewash all of our Ziploc bags, and that's a good thing to do. I just here don't really have a setup where I could hang them and dry them.
Mhm.
Unless they had meat in them, then they got thrown away.
Yeah.
But you just had vegetables in them for a little bit and stuff, and yeah, I used to cut the dryer sheets in half because especially because our children would want to put 4 or 5 in there, and so I got where I just did the laundry. That's why I did the
I
laundry
know.
because they would use so much laundry products that it would just be like, what the heck?
Yeah.
But oh, it's just Charlie.
Are you
The
okay,
box fell
Charlie?
over on you. That little bug scared you to
Oh,
death.
Charlie, are you
But
okay?
yeah, you can cut laundry uh, fabric softener sheets in half. That helps extend them. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to really, and I used to do a lot of it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
You.
hey, it's what helped. We still do that though. It's like that. We don't want to pay a whole bunch for gas, so we don't go that many places. I mean, because you really can use a lot of money up just running errands. Where if you thought about it, you would only need to really go out of the house once a week and run all your errands, maybe twice. But you really don't have to go out every day to run one little errand. Like, see, we don't live in town, and we haven't lived in a town.
In over 20 years.
Crawfordville, we lived in town, but
Yeah.
Crawfordville was so small, you had to go up Tallahassee really for most anything.
I hated going up
But
there.
yeah, but so we're used to it going into a bigger place to get your things done, and we'll do that once a week, and we'll even plan it out so we're not backtracking. That's the way we are, you know. Like I said, and then we'll hi, we'll just get a sandwich or something and eat at City Lake. Now, back in the old days, we would have made our sandwiches and taken them to City Lake, right? Right, Charlie? I know. Oh,
But
thank you.
the way
Mwah.
that
I loved it.
place piles on the meat is,
Oh, he's talking about the sandwiches. There, hey,
yeah.
honey, the dog is up in your walker and gonna
Charlie,
spill it.
take it easy.
He was picking up the whole walker with his bag. He's taller than that
Yeah.
that lower part of the walker.
Yeah.
Charlie, you can't do that.
He says you want to bet.
He's like, I did it. We had a hard time last night with our neighbor's dogs. Where she just lets them run wild all the time, and they're a problem. I mean, we'll see them chasing other animals across the field over here and stuff. And anyway, it was dark out, and I was letting Nixie out, and she was fine. And all of a sudden, I heard her start raising heck, and I always sit right by the door, and with the leash, and she's on a leash, and it was those 2 other dogs that were circling around her, and they are not afraid of you at all. I went out there and was yelling like crazy to get them away from her because Brad can only go so far, you know.
Yeah.
Brad went out there and yelled at him because, you know, but yeah, it's a problem. I don't know why you get an animal if you're not going to take care of the animal.
Yeah.
Especially the white dog is always so dirty looking because there's mud and stuff all over. I mean, so.
Well, and I read a statistic years and years ago where they said the average lifespan of a cat that runs in and out, is only 1.5 years old.
Yeah.
And we've had at least one cat that made it to 20, and Angel's she's almost there.
And I know some people, really, really believe let their cats run and stuff. And I say to that, each to their own. Um, I want my cat around for a long time, and she doesn't want to go outside. I mean, especially now that she's so old. When she did used to go outside, and she was one of those types that she demanded you couldn't stop her. She would go out, and she must have climbed the fence and gone over, and then she'd go to our front window, and you'd look up, and she'd be there going, until you'd be laughing, and you see her. She'd watch you get up, start heading to the front door, and she would like moonwalk backwards on that ledge, so because she knew, and she'd be waiting there for you to let her open up the door. And I'm like, why did we even do this? Why did you insist on getting out this morning, zoom out with the dogs, and go right around, But even then, I was worried about,
Well, and
something happening to her.
she was the one who ripped out the screen
Yeah, she did.
on that screen door.
You just couldn't keep her in, and we had a screen door off our back door that went into the garage. 'Cause I was kind of like that, and but yeah, she pushed that all through and stuff. Now she's mellowed out a lot more.
Yep.
Because she was a jumper. She could clear
Oh
anything.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
She
she
could
could.
jump from the floor up to the top of your fridge. Seriously. And just like,
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
so now that she's gotten older and her eyesight's not that great and stuff, she knocks a lot of stuff over when she does jump or even walk across stuff. Just because of the eyesight, but she doesn't jump on the fridge anymore.
No.
But yeah, I don't know why you would get these dogs when you're not going to take care of them. And when we've spoken to her about it, she said, "Do what you need to do." Well, okay. And this is a neighbor we helped out quite a bit and stuff, but that's okay. Each to their own. We'll do what we got to do. Because I asked her why her dogs were never leashed. My dogs are always leashed when they go outside. Always. And I asked her why hers are never leashed. No reply. Because it's one of the rules here in this trailer park is that your dogs be leashed. But people that have animals like that are why now a lot of places will not let you have a pet. I mean, you make it hard for all of us that do take good care of our pets. So kind of gets you.
Yeah.
Let me finish this one row here. I'm the type 2 where if I start a row, I gotta finish it. Get all enthused. But yeah, so another row done. It's just that quick. I'll finish this tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna move all my makeup into the bathroom, and that will give me more space.
Very cool.
That'll be nice. But
very, very cool.
Still fighting the same issue with the arms and the neck and stuff. It was not quite as bad last night as the night before. I'm still using the inflatable cervical collar thing. It does help. I think it does. I get some relief from it. So, and you're just doing the best you can with your hip. What is that?
What's what?
In your hand. Oh, I thought it was something.
Oh. Sit here. Being normal.
I mean, if you are having surgery, I need to cut your hair and stuff. Well, even if you don't have surgery, I still need to. So, I have a feeling he's not going to have the surgery right when we thought, because it's like we're supposed to attend some 4-hour class that nobody's ever told us where it is or anything on Thursday. And I think she said you're supposed to go to the hospital on that day too and do the pre-admissions or something.
I think so.
Normally they have this schedule you this way before. I mean, and to just assume, what if I worked? Because whoever is going to be helping take care of you needs to go to this class too. What if I worked? You're not giving me any notice.
Yeah, no leeway,
Yeah,
advance notice.
so I don't know. I'm trying to keep my spirits up about it because I know he's feeling crappy about it too. But it's happening to millions of Americans, not just us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And I think with all the people that are working from home now,
mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling that that's one of the things they're really working toward is keeping people's hospital stay down to an absolute minimum.
Oh, I know they are. Even before this, just because the insurance companies, um, I mean, look at how fast you can have open heart surgery in your home. They figure if you're going to develop something, if you can develop it at home just as well as the hospital.
Yeah.
And there's not as much chance of like staph infections and stuff alone. And now with COVID, you know,
Yeah.
but
Exactly.
that's what we got going on, really, guys.
Yeah.
Sucked up another 45 minutes of your life. Aren't you glad? No, I know you guys don't mind. Right, Charlie? Some people even say it makes their day when they see me have a vlog up. I don't know why. But yeah, if you want to, go tick out. Go tick out? Wow. The other day it was Snazel, now it's tick out. Check out my TikTok because I am famous, yet I'm making all this time for the little people because, yeah, no, it's just fun. It's fun. A lot of cool things. I have a few friends that will do duets with me and stuff, and that's always fun. So, my friend April on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just love her. She's just such a crack up like me. We make the silliest videos ever. It's like, she's the type I'd hang out with because she's just nerdy like us. I mean, we're nerds. Right, Charlie? Charlie, are we nerds? Are we? I know. Oh, thank you for the kiss. I love it. It's so nice, Charlie. He was shaking so hard last night. It was raining hard. And also, I look over and I feel him. And it's like he's shaking like crazy. And I had the headphones on. I was watching something. Brad was watching something else on the big TV. And I said, "What's wrong with Charlie? He's shaking. It's like it's raining really hard." I had to console him. I had to wrap him in a little blanket, stroke his cheek, tuck him off the edge, get him to quit shaking as hard. Next thing I know, it must have stopped raining because he was there sleeping, still wrapped up. Then he wakes up and he's panting. But does he get unwrapped? No. Charlie, are you okay? What? Are you coughing up a hairball again? Are you going to be okay now, Charlie? Come here. Come here. You okay? I know. You're a big boy, huh? Are you pretty? What?
Jelly's down there looking like,
Jelly?
what the hell?
Jellykins, are you okay? So anyway, that's all we got. So I hope you guys are having a good weekend. If you're out and about, please stay safe and warm and dry. And, if you can't, stay home. Because while you may know what you're doing driving on the ice and the snow, you can guarantee that everybody around you probably doesn't. That's what you have to be you do your defensive driving about is the people around you.
Yeah.
Because Joe Schmo that's going 10 miles over the speed limit when you reduced yours down by, instead of 50 miles an hour to 30 and he thinks he can go 60, he's coming up hard behind you. Watch out. Because this fool don't know how long it takes to stop on the snow and the ice. So that's when, if you can, you get in the lane over from him. Let him just go whizzing on by.
Yep.
So, my grandmother used to drive through roadblocks and stuff when she was running those state tournaments and stuff. She was notorious for it.
I remember you
My
telling me
grandpa
about
used
that.
to get so mad because she'd come home from a bowling tournament. He knew she left out of there and the road was closed for a snowstorm. And then there'd be some damage to the front of her car because she had literally driven through that roadblock, and she was lucky that there were no sheriffs or highway patrol around right there because that's how important it was for her to get. It's crazy. She was crazy. She was crazy. I'm a mild version of my grandmother. She was crazy. Of course, she was very much a social creature.
Oh yeah.
Liked to have lots of people around her. I am not.
Yep.
So anyway, I hope you have a great weekend and go clean your house. If I have to clean my house, go clean your house. That'll make you feel better. We're all miserable cleaning houses, right?
Right.
All right. Love you guys. Say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.